this meeting are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who is not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located on the side table by the door and turned in to the clerk. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause or cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your phones. Do we have a roll call, please?
Sean Moreland.
Here.
Owen Curley.
Here.
Jeff Chular.
Here.
Todd Smith. Jennifer Williams.
Here.
Matt Metz.
Here.
Laura Tierney.
Here.
Okay, we don't have any minutes to approve. Is there any correspondence? No. Okay, seeing there's no correspondence or old business, can we call the first case for new business, please?
First case, BOA 24-10040, applicant Shannon L. Smith, property address
221 Gordon Avenue, 2201 Gordon Avenue. Motion to consider sections 34-340E4CE for rear yard setback of 17 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum, 34-340E4C2 for side yard setback of 9.4 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum for proposed addition to rear property to an attached single-family dwelling located at property address 2201 Gordon Avenue.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none. I've had none.
None.
And I've had none. Will the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address.
Shannon Smith, 2201 Gordon Avenue.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I am. Thank you. So this is my first time at the Board of Adjustments. I'm assuming I just want a synopsis of what we're doing at the property.
Yes.
Okay.
And explain your hardship.
So the current porch, my understanding from Nev's is we couldn't deviate from making it any bigger. It needs to be redone. It's completely dilapidated and rotted and all that. So in that being said, we wanted to expand the porch. And so that is basically why I'm here. You know, it'll make the property a lot nicer. You know, it's not intrusive to any of the neighbors. It's really pretty easy. Y'all have any questions?
Have you spoken to your neighbors about your variance request?
I have,
And
yeah.
what was their reaction?
They're completely fine with it, all of them. My back neighbor, I actually just purchased last month the property to the south, so that neighbor is super excited about it. And the neighbor across the street, there is 3 Airbnbs, so they don't care.
Somebody else have any questions?
I was looking in the backyard. How far are you extending it out?
I think the extension, it's in the application, I want to say it's an additional 8 feet from the current, is that right, Nubs? Yeah, yeah, so it's an additional 8 feet.
So does that mean that the deck itself is going to move forward 8 feet, and then you're going to have steps down?
Correct, and the steps are actually next to the deck. So the steps don't extend past the deck, they're parallel, like they're with the deck.
So if you go to, which picture is that one? Next one, I think. Sorry. Just trying to find it in a second. So the stair goes down, stays in the same perpendicular line to the deck extension. That one it goes past the deck, John. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, that does.
Stairs to go into the backyard more.
That does look
Your deck
strange,
goes-
but it actually runs, it will run, like I don't know how to explain it well, but, you know, this is the deck, this is the front, the stairs end, like at the end of the deck. They're not gonna protrude into the yard any further than the deck, is what I'm saying.
Okay, it's just the way I was trying to.
Yeah, sorry if it's, honestly, we've been going through, we've had like 3 different renderings, and this has been quite a process, so.
Because you're increasing your coverage by 184 square feet, I'm just trying, that's mostly from the width of the deck growing.
Correct, so it'll come east 8 feet, and then I believe north 8 feet,
Okay, that's what
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions for the applicant?
that's my question.
Okay, ma'am, go ahead, have a seat,
Great, thank you
please.
so much.
Do we have any speakers cards?
No, this is not the case. I have no cards for that case.
In that case, is there anyone in the audience who has not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to board for discussion. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve case number BOA 24-10040. Based on testimony and evidence provided, the request has met all the standards for variances outlined in section 34286 of the Land Development Code.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Discussion?
I read through his dilapidated deck. I mean, I guess because they're going north and east, it doesn't really change a lot, initial thought. I just need some clarity on how the stairs are going down. I understand how they have to do the switchback to make it safe.
Okay, that's it.
And I think it's somewhat of a safety issue also.
Yeah. They should put in correct stairs, yeah.
Okay. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Jeff Truler,
Yes?
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved.
Great, thank you.
Okay, next.
Case number BOA 24-10041, applicant David and Justin Lerman. Property address 1108 North 8th Street. Motion to consider 34-336E1C2 for side yard setback of 5 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum. 34336E1C3 for rear yard setback of 10 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum. 34336E1E for 41.6%, lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum. All for proposed addition to side and rear of property to existing single-family dwelling, located property address 1108 North 8th Street.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
None.
I've had none.
I've had none.
None.
And I've had none. Will the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address.
Justin Lerman, 604 12th Street North.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. So you have all the information. I would just speak to the 3 hardships on the property. The first one being the existing structure is built back far from the build line. We've already rehabbed the inside of that structure. We don't want to knock it down, we want to keep it. So it's really far back, especially when you're looking at the other houses, like on the left of our house, their newer house is much further out. The second one would be an undersized lot. I believe it's around 8,000, and I think the normal size is about 9,000. And the third one is the property is at askew, so it's sort of hard to like build a garage that with 10 feet because the property is coming in as you go back. Happy to answer any questions. Excuse me?
Your regular lot size?
It is. I believe it's an undersized lot.
I see in design, you're pushing the second structure that connects back, pretty far back in your design.
Correct. The existing structure of the house is about 925 square feet. This would add about 1,200 plus the garage. right now at 900 square feet, it's a pretty small house.
I understand, I guess just how far you push the second structure back, I guess my question, what drove in that direction?
Sure, so it's all, when you say second structure, this is all connected.
And it's, yeah, it's the second structure being added to that existing structure. Yeah, because you have that connection.
It's a little different, maybe I should pass. I don't know if that is.
Oh, can you get to the front?
Yeah. See that, I guess you can see that there's a family room connecting to the master bedroom, so I mean, they're all connected.
Okay, that explains better.
It just looks weird on the other.
It looks like just a
Yeah,
breezeway.
yes, sir. No, nobody breezeway, because that would be odd.
Have you spoken to your neighbors about this?
So the first neighbor I would think to talk to is the one behind us, but it's a short-term rental, Airbnb, so I have not reached out to the neighbor. And I haven't talked to any of the neighbors about it, but no one approached me saying like, hey, this is good or bad. I don't live there currently, so I'm not in the area, like, talking to neighbors very often.
Is this the least amount you can develop on the property?
Is this a leased amount?
No, lease.
Least amount.
Um,
Built this out quite a bit.
Is there a way you can accomplish your goals by using a smaller footprint?
Well, then the house would just be smaller, I guess, but I think this, like, if you look at any kind of like new build in Jacksonville Beach, you know, they're all around 2,000 square feet. And that was the goal, to obviously not do a new build because we're keeping the existing structure, but just get in line with the amount of square feet like that a family would want in a house these days. I know back in the 1930s and 40s, 900 square feet was.
Very small.
Right.
And can you remind me how much, I saw it in the report, how much is the finished space when you complete this project? Which one?
It's a darn good question.
I saw it in
It should be on
these.
one of the
staff
documents for
report.
sure, because it's split by garage, and so I believe it adds about 1,100 or 1,200 square feet to the existing structure that's 900 feet. So somewhere around 2,000 feet, give or take.
Well, proposing 1,100 square feet addition, which is saying, reach out to 2,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any more questions for the applicant? All right, sir, you can step back then.
Thank you for your time.
I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards?
We have no speaker's card submitted for that case.
Is there anyone in the audience who has not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to do so? Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve case number BOA 24-10041. Based on testimony and evidence provided, the request has met all the standards for a variance as outlined in 34286 of the Land Development Code.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
It's a lot of houses, but not.
So here, it's a substandard lot, odd shape. So we have that.
I think the applicant made a valid sort of observation on the existing structure being so far from the road line at the front of the lot, which does sort of push you either toward developing something awkward and narrow in the front or building farther back. So thinking of the rear setback and what's existing on the lot, that does create a constraint for them to work within. And then the skewed nature of the lot does continue to hinder from the side yard setback. So from a coverage perspective, I think the coverage being requested is less than a 35% of the standard lot. That is reasonable. From the rear yard, again, the issue that they're facing being offset from the build line at the front side of the current dwelling, and then the side yard. I think that the way that the lot narrows does give some challenge to adding something meaningful to make that livable space with the lot as it exists today.
I agree. Anyone else?
And at the end result, it's close to 2,000 square feet of living space, which is not that large. I guess. And that's an RS, especially for an RS1 lot too. Kind of going through it, kind of contradictory to the staff analysis. But I kind of agree that it does make sense.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Any comments? No? Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
Unger.
Yes, your request for variance has been approved.
Thank you very much for your time.
Can we call the next case?
Case number BOA 24-10043, applicant Christopher Colvin. Property address 15 Oakwood Road. Motion to consider sections 34336E1E 43.2% lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum. 34336E1C3 for accessory rear yard setback of 3.5 feet in lieu of 5 feet minimum. 34336E1C2 for a northerly side yard setback of 7.5 feet and a southerly yard setback of 7.2 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum. And 34336E1C3 for a rear yard setback of 20 feet in lieu of 30 feet for the construction of a new pool and deck to rear yard and to address existing nonconformities of the existing single-family dwelling located at property address 15 Oakwood Road.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
None.
And I've had none. Will the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address.
Chris Colvin, 15 Oakwood Road, Jacksonville Beach, 32250.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Good, sir.
So yeah, so basically we're trying to get a pool. I do have a deck there that's 16 by 22 that hasn't been accounted for on the square footage, which has the 3/4 gaps. I have no neighbors in the backside. There's an easement. And I have an irregular sized lot. My lot's bigger in the front yard than the back. I just have an 8-year-old daughter and I'm trying to get a pool for her to have some fun in the backyard.
Okay, are there any questions for the applicant? Did you talk to your neighbors?
I did. Yeah, our neighbor next door already has a pool and they just had a kid and they're positive about it. And anyone who walks by with the dog is to wish us good luck and hope we get it.
Just a couple of clarifying points on what's being requested to address existing nonconformities versus what's being requested for the addition. I'm going to speak to it based off of my interpretation from the document, but just asking you to correct me if I misspeak on anything. So it looks like the lot coverage request is for the new decking around the pool, essentially is going to expand the permeable space that's covered. So that is part of the addition. But the 3.5 feet and 5 feet side yard and rear yard setback is an existing shed that is already there, but you just need a variance for that as an existing condition.
The shed I'm getting out of there. That's
Okay, so
when we just bought the house that was there, so that I'm gonna remove.
so is the
In the left corner of the backyard.
is the 3.5 foot accessory rear yard setback?
I can answer that if you can swear
He
me.
filled out a
Through the
card
pool
to
deck.
speak as well.
Is that
Are you the
I'm
Bill?
the
Bill,
answer.
yeah.
Do you want to swear?
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address.
John Spittler, 256 Riberia Street, St. Augustine, Florida.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Your question on the 3.5 foot setback? So if you look at the pool design, right where the sun shelf and the stairs are, that corner right there is where we're got our setback, where we're closer on the property line right there. That's my understanding on the plans when we submitted them.
And that's because it curves in that, is that sort of curve of the property
Exactly,
line?
the back of that property, and there's an easement behind there, but the back of that property kind of swales in, and we really minimize pool decking. If you see the pool itself, we just have basically a little bit of deck in front of the sun shelf, a kind of a 5 foot carry there that just kind of goes around the hot tub. No decking on the 180 perimeter on the outside. We're obviously trying to minimize that. And then his existing wood deck that's behind the house is a raised wood deck with a 3/4 gap, which that is not accounted for as far as like a 50% forgiveness of square footage, because it's obviously fairly permeable. But we didn't account for that in the topo survey. So when the topo survey was done, obviously they just look at everything and say, these are the square footages. But his wood deck back there does have a 3/4 inch gap on it as well.
And then the 7.5 feet and 7.2 feet side yard is to the existing edge of the home. It's existing, or is that limited to the?
I think they're accounting for the setbacks on the other side of the pool, like at the deep end corner where it's adjusted to the yard there in the back.
Is that for the pool equipment?
Pool equipment we have on the far side of the house, I believe,
Existing structure.
on the left side. Yeah. We've also looked at placing it on the right side. There's a couple different areas we could put the pool equipment.
And then it looks like there's some pavers on both sides of the home on the existing survey, but I'm not seeing them on I'm not seeing them on one side on the proposed. Is there any change to what pavers you have on the side of the home, or is that going to remain as is?
We were planning on removing them. Like, most of them are like half buried in sand. They've been there a long time.
Yeah, they're all warm, but
Is that just the side where the pool equipment is going, or is that on both sides those pavers are coming out?
On both sides is kind of my understanding. We're laying out the project is the old existing pavers that were on the far left of the house, and there's some over on the right side we were going to remove.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, sir, you can step back. Okay, I'll now open the public hearing. We have the speaker's cards.
We have from this. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, no, I just wanted to feel if you guys have questions.
Okay.
Is there anyone in the audience who's not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Anyone? Okay. I'll close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve BOA 24-10043, based on testimony evidence provided, the request to all standards as outlined in section 34286 of the Land Development Code.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Okay with it?
We have a subcenter lot that is odd shaped. So we have the,
The drainage you behind it too?
yeah, there's no easement in the back, so we're not having any issues with neighbors.
There's no neighbors here?
Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Jennifer Williams,
Yes, sorry.
Sean Moreland,
Yes.
Jeff Truler,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved.
thank you.
Okay, moving on to the planning department report.
The next meeting will be on September 17th, and there will be 3 items on there. And then tomorrow, we'll have an RTC workshop for all the board members. And then next week, we'll have it for the council.
So you say September what day?
17th.
17.
Mhm.
That's 3 weeks, that's 1 to 2 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah, we won't be here on the 4th, so we didn't have anything on the,
So you're on vacation.
yeah, we're looking at the 7th on that week. So we didn't put anything on the schedule for that week.
Okay, do they want us to go to the LDC workshop?
Yeah, the board, yeah.
I'd like to attend.
That's, we're gonna be showing you guys like the new LDC and all that stuff, proposed changes and all that stuff.
Is that an open meeting? Public involvement?
Yeah, those come too, but it's mainly for you guys.
All right, next is courtesy of the floor to visitors. Anyone? Officer? Isaac? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn. Second.
So moved and seconded. All